Chargepoint stock price prediction. Okay, so this is an update video, guys. The Chargepoint switchback energy merger is literally a few days away. It's about, I'd say about 7 days away. So the estimated merger date, a lot of you guys have been asking me over and over in comments, and I think I mentioned this previously in the video, but I'm going to give it to you guys right up front. The merger date is supposedly December 15th. So that means in less than a week, we're going to figure out, we're going to see Chargepoint, this ticker symbol is going to switch from SBE into a new ticker symbol. I'm not exactly sure what that symbol will be, but maybe it'll be something like CHPT, something of that nature. And basically the shares will turn into around 305 combined shares, giving this a much higher market cap. So what is really interesting about this stock is this looks like a typical V-shaped recovery right here. And once again, I'm going to use the same technical analysis as the cup. This is the right side of the cup, and it looks like it's going to fill this cup and zoom much higher. And the reason why I think it's going to zoom much higher is I saw when all of these kind of EV related stocks sold off, that's pretty normal, saying that a lot of these stocks have went up so fast. I mean, as you can see with Chargepoint, over the last 3 months, the stock is up literally 274%. But I'm pretty confident that if this price kind of zooms past this previous kind of high level, we're going to see much higher price. So to give you guys a kind of a more longer term view of this, I'm going to head over to Trading View and let you guys look at this weekly chart. So a lot of times with this channel, I like to use daily charts, but sometimes it's nice to look at the weekly chart. And this is especially true if you guys are trading options. So as you can see here, we had the last couple of weeks, we had a couple big green candles and then that red candle. Now that spooked a lot of investors off, and I read some of the comments and some of you guys ended up selling at the bottom of this red candle, and I actually bought here. So the reason why I like to buy dips like this is for several reasons. So number one, Chargepoint, the business, nothing changed. So, you know, as long as the business itself is intact, you know the stock is going to be trading much higher long term. So what happened with Chargepoint in this region right here is that the stock was volatile, not the company. The company's still making a lot of money. You still see the charging stations all over North America. The merger's coming up. Everything is good. So this was an opportunity to kind of get in on a cheaper level. I bought in, bought around $25, and now the stock is at 38. So, but if you take a look at the progression, you know, just like I showed here, as you take a look right here and you were to draw a trend line, the trend is up. So this is a weekly chart, and even week over week the trend is up. So like I said, we saw a big run up here, then a red candle, then a zoom higher. So now we have a run up here, a red candle, and now I expect this stock to go much higher. So I definitely think that Chargepoint, I said it's conservative valued at around $50. My guess is by the merger, this stock will be trading closer to $40 to $45, assuming it kind of fills. So let's kind of take a step back and go to that daily chart. So as you can see here, guys, we're taking a look at candlesticks. So as you can see here, let's go to the line chart because it's a little bit easier to visualize. So as I mentioned with that V-shaped recovery that I talked about on Robinhood, as you can see here, the stock looks like it's going to zoom much higher. So I think a conservative price target right around the merger date would be around $45 to $50. Now, a lot of you guys have been asking me, should I buy before or after the merger? Be sure to check out my previous video on that. I made an entire video on why I think it's very smart to buy before the merger, and that's why I compared this stock to DraftKings. So the reason why I think it's very similar to DraftKings is DraftKings is a market leader. They already have a ton of revenue. So don't compare this stock to like Helion or Fisker or Nikola Motor, any of these stocks that don't make any money. Chargepoint is crushing it right now. They have a 73% market share. They're making a ton of money. This is not a stock you want to sell. You know, this is not like Nikola Motor where the stock is going to run up all the way to $70 or $80 and then crash back down to like $15 or whatever it's trading at right now, $20. But this is different. So this company is legit, market leader, making a ton of money. This is a long-term hold. And when I say long-term, look at Tesla stock. I mean, you know, post-split Tesla stock was trading at $2, $3, $4, you know, 8 years ago. It's hard to believe, right, that Tesla has come so far. So the reason why Tesla grew so far is they just kept growing their revenue, guys, basically. So Chargepoint projected to grow their revenue. This is the long-term hold for me. In fact, I plan to hold this stock throughout the entire decade. I wouldn't really ever consider selling the share, there is one period where I think it would kind of make sense to sell if you were to sell shares, and that is the lockup period. So everyone's worried about selling, before the merger. I'm more concerned about the lockup period. So on these SPAC deals, you have a lot of private shareholders in Chargepoint. They have a lot of their shares. So when these deals go public, they have to sign an agreement that they can't dump their shares directly onto the market, right? Because that looks bad. So you have a merger complete, and then like all these insiders are dumping their shares. So it's something called a 180-day or a 6-month lockup agreement, which means if the company finishes the merger on December 15th, that by May 15th next year, May 15th, 2021, they will be able to sell their shares. So I'm more worried about May 15th, 2021 than I am about December 15th, 2020. So guys, that's kind of the thing that happens with the lockup period, and we saw the same thing with DraftKings. After that lockup period the stock ended up crashing. But the good thing is DraftKings stock eventually recovered, because at the end of the day, just because insiders are taking some profits doesn't mean that they're selling all their shares, and it doesn't mean that there's anything wrong with the business. It's just like a short-term profit-taking thing, just like we see with Tesla all the time. Tesla stock, sometimes it sells off, but long-term it always goes up. So, well, at least so far it's been going up. So I think Chargepoint, I think it's a good idea to buy into this stock. Hold on to it. If you really need the money, like if you're trading, swing trading stocks to like pay your bills and stuff like that, then go ahead and take some money off the table. But if you're like me, when I'm investing in stocks, I really don't need this money, for any living expenses or things like that. I'm putting this money so I can basically make this money grow throughout the rest of the decade. So for me, I don't want to sell, because I take a look at it like this, guys. So basically, if you take a look at stocks, every day someone's offering you money for your stock. So let's say this, right now the price is like $38. It's probably better to look at it on Robinhood. So right now the price is like $38. Like there's someone out there that literally wants to offer you $38 for your shares. Do you really think that Chargepoint is really a $38 stock in the future? Like, could you look at yourself a year from now and be like, wow, selling Chargepoint or Switchback Energy Chargepoint stock for $38 was a good decision? So that's how I try to look at it. I try to really put myself in what's really going on. And I think sometimes with the stock market, everything's electronic, so you don't really think like there's actually someone else on the other end of that trade that is buying the stock from you. And this was kind of the biggest mistake that I made with NEO. If you guys have been following my channel for a while, I was talking about NEO stock when it was like $2 or $3. I said it was the Tesla of China, and I ended up selling it at around $9. So I was up big. I was like, wow, I made a lot of money. I made like 200-300% gains. I sold my stock, and now NEO stock's like, heading towards $50. So there was someone that said, hey, oh, I can buy NEO stock at $9. Okay, give them to me. So that's how I try to think of it. If you're trying to sell your stocks here before the merger, someone out there is buying it from you because they think it's going to go much higher. So if you kind of think of it like that, you're like, well, no, I don't want to sell it to anybody now, because, the merger's not even complete, and electrification is just in the first inning. I don't want to sell my stock in the first inning. I want to sell it in the 7th inning, the 8th inning. I want to sell it when the company has grown so big that there's not a lot of growth in the future and it's kind of maturing, and I can put the money into another stock. So that's how I like to think of it, guys. Just realize that someone else out there wants your shares, and once you sell those shares, unless you have to buy into the stock again, you're not going to get them. So I think it's very advantageous, even if there's short-term dips here. Me personally, like I say, always do your own research, but I think Switchback Energy SBE, which is going to merge with Chargepoint on December 15th, I think this is a very strong buy and a long-term hold. I don't plan to sell any of my shares the entire decade. Hopefully we can see the same trajectory that we saw with Tesla. So that's it until now, guys. I hope you enjoyed this video. I'll be posting more as we head up to the merger. Really exciting news, and just really excited to see Switchback Energy and Chargepoint merge and basically turn into the largest EV charging station company in the United States. So that's it until next time, guys. If you enjoyed my content, please smash the red like button and subscribe to get more of my videos. I post videos like this on a consistent basis. And if you guys want to know which stocks I'm looking at Monday through Friday, I send out a daily stock watch list of my favorite 5 to 10 stocks for that day before the market opens. You guys can click the link in the description below to get that newsletter, or you can go to investortrip.com/newsletter. So that's it until next time, guys. Take care.